Finance Breakers put together this video to keep you updated on what's going on in the world of finance. It brings together news, analysis, and reports from a wide range of online resources, to provide you with the most up-to-date information about the global financial markets, empowering you to make better informed and more responsible investment decisions. Before we begin, if you enjoyed watching the video, please share your thoughts by clicking the like button and writing them in the comments section below. If you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, you will be among the first people to find out when new videos are published on the channel. So let's just get started. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 403 points, or 1.34%, to end the day at 29,634. The S&P 500 shed 2.37% to 3,583.07 and notched its seventh negative close in 8 days. The Nasdaq Composite slipped 3.08% to 10,321.39, weighed down by losses in Tesla and Lucid Motors. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq recorded their largest intraday reversals in history on Thursday. The moves followed the release of a key U.S. inflation reading that came in hotter than expected for the month of September. Initially, this weighed on markets as investors braced themselves for the Federal Reserve's aggressive rate hiking plan. Later, they shrugged off those worries. Prime Minister Liz Truss has scrapped pledge to reverse predecessor Boris Johnson's hike of corporation tax from 19% to 25%. The decision is estimated to restore around £18 billion, $20.1 billion, to the UK Treasury's coffers by 2026. Finance Minister Kwasi Kwarteng was fired earlier on Friday after less than 6 weeks in the job, amid mounting political pressure and market chaos. So far, roughly half of the original tax-cutting policies set out in Kwarteng's mini-budget have been scrapped. However, the government still plans to go ahead with its medium-term fiscal plan announcement, and independent forecasts from the Office for Budget Responsibility. Truss had been under immense pressure to rethink her economic policies, with opinion polls showing support for the ruling Conservative Party collapsing, and lawmakers from within her own party reportedly plotting to oust her. Kwarteng had remained publicly resolute in recent days, accusing critics of the government's radical fiscal plans of being part of an anti-growth coalition. The fact that retail sales in the United States remained unchanged, in nominal terms during the month of September was a disappointing result, that once again emphasized the strain that high inflation places on the ability of consumers to spend. In spite of this, fundamental retail sales increased by 0.1%, which was a marginal improvement over what was anticipated. The report as a whole was contradictory. These numbers come a day after data on consumer price inflation showed a 0.4% increase in price during the same month they were reported for. Citigroup's third-quarter net income fell 25% year-over-year to $3.48 billion, or $1.63 in earnings per share. The bank bulked up its credit loss provisions and investment banking slumped. However, Citi shares gained more than 1% in early trading as revenue climbed more than analysts expected. The potential for a global economic slowdown could hamper CEO Jane Fraser's turnaround efforts at Citigroup. Citigroup shares have slumped 29% this year, leaving it by far the lowest valued among its US peers. The results that Morgan Stanley reported for the third quarter fell short of what industry analysts had anticipated. The bank with its headquarters in New York reported a decline of 29% in its profit, which came in at $2.63 billion, or $1.47 per share. The annual revenue came in at $12.99 billion, a decline of 12% from the previous year. The decline in initial public offerings, IPOs, as well as debt and equity issuance, has been a significant challenge for the banks on Wall Street this year. JP Morgan Chase's third quarter profit falls 17% from a year earlier to $9.74 billion, or $3.12 a share. Excluding a 24-cent per share hit tied to losses on investment securities, earnings beat estimates. Net interest income surged 34% to $17.6 billion in the period because of higher rates and an expanding book of loans. JP Morgan booked $959 million in losses on securities in the quarter, reflecting the broad declines in financial assets. Investment banking and mortgage lending revenue has fallen sharply, and firms could disclose write-downs amid the decline in financial assets. Kroger agrees to buy Albertsons for $34.10 a share in a deal valued at $24.6 billion. Kroger is the second largest grocer by market share in the United States. The tie-up comes during a challenging time for the grocery industry. Food prices have jumped 11.2% from a year ago. The combination of Kroger and Albertsons will likely undergo a lengthy review period by regulators. A merger would be less likely to get approved if they are the top two grocers in many markets, an antitrust expert says. Analyst, consolidation in the grocery industry has not historically paid off in the form of higher profits. But, he says, a big merger could also lift margins. General Motors, NYSE, GM, plans to introduce its electric vehicles, EVs, in international markets simultaneously, including those in Europe and Asia. The year 2023 marks the debut of the company's first electric vehicle designed and manufactured in-house for the Japanese market. The company has set a goal to increase its annual production capacity of electric vehicles in North America to 1 million units by the year 2025, as well as to introduce 30 new models of electric vehicles across the globe by that same year. After the company warned that its revenue could come in 5 to 10% lower than the guidance due to project delays, shares of Plug Power, Nasdaq Plug, are currently trading approximately 3% lower today. The company reported that the demand and pipeline remain robust despite this. The company anticipates that the projects will be finished by the end of the year 2023 at the latest. After British Prime Minister Liz Truss dismissed her finance minister, and rescinded portions of their previously agreed-upon economic package on Friday, the value of the pound plummeted in comparison to that of the United States dollar. In the meantime, the value of the dollar continued its ascent against the weakening yen, reaching a new high point in excess of 148.38 yen that hasn't been seen in 32 years. Traders are once again keeping a keen eye out for any potential action that may be taken by Japanese financial authorities in an effort to halt the decline of the currency. The price of a barrel of West Texas Intermediate futures fell to almost $86 and is expected to drop by more than 6% by the end of the week. Last month, A measure of inflation in the United States reached a level that was not seen in the country in the preceding 4 decades, which has led to increased speculation that the Federal Reserve will need to keep increasing interest rates. Diesel, which is utilized by trucks and shippers to transport goods, has experienced a price increase at a time when inflation is already at a high level.